Hi guys, I like Overwatch. I like Marvel. I really like Marvel. I don't love Marvel Rivals. Uh-oh, different opinions on the internet. Get your popcorn, because I'm going to explain why Marvel Rivals is clearly not an Overwatch killer. Now, I wasn't going to download Marvel Rivals until my fellow YouTube friend KnightSky joined one of my streams and said, "Bro, you gotta get it." And after some groaning, I downloaded it. A quick download too, in all honesty. Now, I was hoping he was gonna play with me, but he bounced and I went from playing Overwatch, a game I wanted to play, to being on the Marvel Rivals title screen. Apparently, this is made by NetEase Games, which didn't ring a bell at first. They made some other less-known Marvel games in the past, but it turns out they are also the China-based team making Anata, formerly known as Project Mugen. If you don't know this game, it's a yet-to-be-released open-world anime game. Not everybody's cup of tea, but I was initially drawn to it because of its supposed open-world GTA-style gameplay. We'll see when I get to play it. Heck, I might make a video on it. So it's clear that the company behind Marvel Rivals can make polished games. So how was my experience with Marvel Rivals? Well, I want to first talk about the pros, the things I like about this game, because there is a lot to like. First off is, of course, the art direction. The overall style they chose for this game is great. Very different from Overwatch's style. While Overwatch has a more realistic yet still cartoony style, giving it a kind of Disney movie polish to it, Marvel Rivals went full-on comic book mode with it. The art style reminds me a little bit of the Spider-Verse movies, and they aren't afraid to have fairly exaggerated character body types, yet still very cohesive. On top of this, I'd say the most important distinction from anything that Marvel has made previously are the new takes on all these characters. New character designs of these characters are so nice to see. They could have stayed bland and basic with all the characters, and they still have some characters that have the pretty standard design to the hero we all know today, such as Spider-Man. We get some really cool and creative takes with these characters too, such as Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord, Penny Parker, and so on. Even Iron Man and Black Panther, for example, have new takes on their suits, with just enough changes to make it feel cool and unique in its own way, which I think is one of the best decisions for this game, and will not only keep it memorable, but favored in many people's eyes for a very long time. I also like how this game has destructible property, giving it at least one distinction from Overwatch.
Oh shoot, I forgot stuff break and fall.
Now, the destructible objects is something that I'll have to get used to, as I pretty much forgot about the X-ray vision feature while I was playing for my first time. Another distinct feature I think is really good for a game like Marvel Rivals is the difficulty rating for each character. This is great because Marvel's fans who will be playing this game will likely widely range from the most casual fans who don't really play games all that much to the most competitive gamers coming from Overwatch and so on. And the team could have kept it at that, but they went a step further in this game by adding team-up abilities, and I've barely scratched the surface of what this is, but there is a wide range of these so-called team-up abilities where various characters can combine their unique abilities in some way. For example, in one of my first matches while I was playing as Rocket, I noticed that there was an option to mount on my teammate Groot. So heck yeah, I went for it, and it lasted about 4 seconds, but man, it was pretty cool. I'll be honest, I'm a little confused about how all these team-up abilities work, and the pre-match team-up abilities screen did not make it any less confusing, yet I'm sure I will get the hang of it if I play more. So these are some things I like about the game. Now let's get into why I don't love the game. First of all, it's an Overwatch clone, a shameless one at that. From the keybinds, to the UI, to the respawn zones, to the capture points, you get the idea. But you can make the argument that Overwatch is a Team Fortress 2 clone, so I won't ponder on that. It is what it is. Marvel Rivals is a competitor to Overwatch. While finding a match right now is almost instantaneous, something that Overwatch can only dream of doing in 2024, the matches themselves feel pretty clunky. These are things that can be fixed with quality of life fixes, but for example, the death to replay to respawn process feels really rigid. Unlike Overwatch's death to replay to respawn process or most modern games, Rivals just doesn't feel or look smooth with it. When you die, you're shown a loading screen to then show the replay to transition into yet another loading screen before you respawn. My other complaint is what I'm going to call the mobile game feeling. For whatever reason, whether it's the third person instead of what could have been first person, the choppiness, the super cartoony and not overly graphics intensive style, or a combination of all these factors make this game feel a little bit more like a mobile game on PC. Now, I don't want to disregard all the hard work put into this game. My compliments for the art style of this game are genuine. The environments for this game are great and the animations are well polished, but it's just really the feeling when playing the game. I don't feel as invested because I know my death can be because of a lack of polish. And don't get me wrong, Overwatch has had nearly a decade-long head start, so it better be more polished than Rivals. These are both free-to-play games, so it's a very competitive field for the longevity for each of these titles. One thing I think Rivals needs to add immediately is a role queue system. Overwatch had this problem at first too, where the team balance is just awful because there are no role queue requirements. Anybody can be any character from any role, which means you'll get a team where nobody wants to play a support character and you all lose. This can easily be fixed with a role queue system where you choose your desired role before starting a match, so you get a balance of 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and 2 strategists, aka supports for each team. This is really important for the longevity of the game because while the game is currently running on pure adrenaline and hype, eventually the core player base will dwindle down over time and those core players will want to play a game with a competent team. If you can't get down the team aspect of your team-based PvP game, it's all in shambles. Something about Overwatch is just really fun to me. The smooth and incredibly well-polished gameplay with cool original characters and an entire universe that's built up on its own, without needing to rely on decades and decades and decades old IPs. Not that there is anything wrong with that either. Marvel Rivals has a real chance to stay in this field of competitive team-based games, but it has a lot to work on. If I had to put this game on a spectrum of incredibly casual such as Among Us to incredibly hardcore, let's say like Counter-Strike, I'd say it's on the equal opposite side of Overwatch right now, Overwatch being closer to the hardcore side. And just like Among Us, Marvel Rivals has the risk of losing its player base very quickly, and sure, lots of this will be natural because it's currently in the hype cycle, but for this game to be taken seriously and stay in this, I think it has to eventually slide itself over to the more competitive / hardcore side. Overwatch did this with their esports league and it's really helped the longevity of the game. Ultimately, it's whatever the fans decide to do. Do they even want this game to be on that level of competitiveness, or are they perfectly happy with the casual yet fun and creative PvP style shooter? Let me know, because I am no longer a Marvel fan. They ended the Loki show and that was the only thing keeping me going. Look, all I'm saying is Loki is fucking awesome. Thanks for watching.
Waiting stagnation, no hesitation, waiting for the plane, then where you gonna go?
Oh, hello guys, it's Dingani with another video. Guys, I just want to say I don't hate Marvel Rivals, okay? I'm sure I'm gonna play it more, okay? Just take this video with a grain of salt, dude. I'm just a guy on the internet. But anyway, if you did like this content, I make a lot of different type of content. Check out DaganiStudios.com. I have an animated show that I have cool characters with, and I sell merch. I make apparel. I'm a clothing brand owner. So, yeah, I'll see y'all on another video, hopefully. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.